Hello everyone, welcome to Res Snapper. My name's MJ, aka Res Snapper, and today we are looking at all of the unreleased cards in Marvel Snap, and I'm going to give my thoughts on them. We're using the website snap.fan. It's a brilliant website. You can see all cards, all variants on there, and it's got this awesome filter function, and I have ticked the unreleased box. Okay, let's kick things off with Black Knight, because you can actually see it, as opposed to Annihilus, which you can't actually see. Black Knight is a 1/2, and it's got the power, when this is destroyed, draw a card. This seems incredible, in my opinion. Card draw in Marvel Snap is very scarce. If you look at cards like Crystal, actually you may even look at Crystal and go, oh, card draw's crap. No, just Crystal is not a great card. This seems really strong. It's Carnage Fuel, doesn't even hurt Venom, you know, Destroyer, instantly cycling through cards. I think this is going to be a decent card. Don't know when it's going to come out. As with most of these, we don't know when they're coming out. Moving on, Blink. 3/1, and with the power, you can move this each turn. When it moves, +1 power. Absolutely freaking love this. This is incredible. The only thing that I don't like about this is that it's a free cost. Move decks have not been supported for a long time. I mean, what, the last card that we got that properly supported a move deck, was it probably Miles Morales, which is like, I think it's like 6 months ago. I mean, that was literally the first season of the worldwide launch, so that was the first one we got in the UK. And yeah, I really enjoy move decks. I think they're really fun. In fact, I've been playing them really recently as well. Cards like Human Torch are just outrageous. And I was sleeping on Human Torch, hadn't realised how good he was. But they have already got quite a crowded 3-drop zone with things like Vulture and then your buff cards, so things like either Ironheart or Hulkbuster. So your turn, Doctor Strange, your turn 3 is already very crowded, so I'm not sure how Blink fits into that, because Blink is the kind of card that, to get the most out of her, you'll need to play her on 3. I like the fact that she can trigger buffs on things like Craven though. So yeah, interesting one. Really like it, but difficult. Right, moving on to Blob. A 3/4 with the ongoing effect, nothing can move this to another location. I really like this, but I primarily like it because first of all, it's very flavourful. That's absolutely perfect for Blob. But actually, it's just another ongoing card. I like the ongoing cards. Ongoing is probably my favourite sort of archetype in Marvel Snap. I like my Thanos ongoing deck. I've done a few videos about that. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure I would put that in there, but I do like it. Moving on to a card that I can't see. I need to move the viewfinder that I've got. So 1/2 is Bullseye. On reveal, the next card you draw will be a 2-cost card, if any are left. Very flavourful. I love the like pinpoint accuracy of Bullseye doing this, so that's really good. In terms of the actual quality of the card, I don't know. It's not too bad. It's a little bit like a reverse Domino or reverse Quicksilver, isn't it? Seems alright. Definitely help to fill in a curve. Maybe it'll work well in ramp decks actually, or if there's like a specific really important 2-cost card like Zabu in a Zabu deck, might work well in stuff like that. Otherwise, I don't know. Moving on to the next one, Elsa Bloodstone, a 1/1. At the end of each turn, if you are winning this location, +1 power. I quite like that actually, because in theory that has the ability to get up to what, a 1/7 if you stick it on a location and win it every single turn. So potentially quite strong. Obviously weak against things like Killmonger and Elektra, but could be decent, especially with armor. It's almost a bit like a sleeper Ebony Maw without the downside, right? I mean, you have sort of got to keep feeding a little bit into it, but might work well in a zoo deck because you don't need to commit that much. I like it. Next up is this Flatman? Yeah, Flatman. 2/2, ongoing, adjacent locations have +1 power. Like a micro Mr. Fantastic. I don't understand what this artwork is about. But I actually think that's really good. Again, for my Thanos deck, or just any of my ongoing decks, that card's absolutely outrageous, to be honest. Right, moving on to one of my favourite, well, certainly visually one of my favourite characters in all of Marvel, Ghost Spider. sorry, I'm like inhaling air. That's why I'm making this sort of noise. Ghost Spider is a 2/2 with the on reveal effect. Move the last card you played here. Move the last card you played here. I need to get my grammar right on this. Move the last card you played here. So the last card you played will be moved to that location when you play her. Really, 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 really good. I absolutely love this one now that I understand it. Yeah, I absolutely adore this. Not only do I really like the artwork, as I said, she's also one of my favourite characters. In fact, can I show you the variants? Yes, there's a load of variants, as you can see. I think I'm going to need probably this one. Yeah, probably that one, although I don't know, I like the base one as well. Or this one. They're sort of all incredible, aren't they? Yeah, don't actually know. But yeah, in terms of the card, absolutely love her. Also, 2 cost in a move deck, absolutely love it. Things like Vulture, so you'll be able to play Ghost Spider on turn 4 alongside Cloak, so that you can then ping either the Vulture or whatever you've played on turn 3. Which would that include Hulkbuster if you were Hulkbustering, like for example a Human Torch? Oh man, absolutely love it. I love everything about this card. Probably my favourite cards we've seen so far. Yeah, artwork, character, power. Love all of it. Right, next up, Goblin Queen. 2/3 on reveal. Other cards can't be revealed this turn. That's really interesting. Yeah, so obviously you're going to want priority. I can't really think where it's going to be useful other than, I mean, it's obviously crazy disruption-y. It's going to absolutely kill. I mean, imagine if your opponent played something like a Green Goblin and then you like filled up that location or something. I don't know. This is the kind of card that I would have to play to really understand it and, you know, see it in action. Gorr. Gorr is currently showing as a 0/0 with the on reveal effect. Destroy all 6 cost cards wherever they are. I suspect that they're a 6 cost themselves. Yeah, can't really comment because we don't know the cost or true power of this card. I can say the on reveal effect though is pretty nuts. Although the thing is, you would have to, for it to truly work, you'd obviously have to not have priority or have ghost. But if you don't have priority going into turn 6, you're losing, and so Gorr has to win. Gorr's power basically has to win you the game. I don't know, so it might be a tough one. Right, next up, Gwenpool is a 2/1 with the on reveal, double this card's power. So this is pretty interesting. Obviously, it's a hand buff card, so things like Okoye and Nakia, that sort of thing, is going to be very spicy. Oh my god, and Beast. Beasting this is going to feel good. If you just beast this, it becomes a 2/4, which isn't mind-blowing. However, if you beast it and it's been Okoye'd, which is easy enough, that becomes, what, an 8? And what if you beast it and it's been Okoye and Nakia'd, it becomes a 16. Pretty cool. High Evolutionary, unknown, don't know what that is. Hitmonkey, I believe, spoilers guys, I believe this is the season card for next month. Is a 2/0. On reveal, gain +2 power for each other card you played this turn. I love this. I think this is really powerful. I mean, I'm imagining things like Wasp. I mean, imagine Wasp, Yellow Jacket. So, I mean, if you just do Wasp, Yellow Jacket in this on turn 2, it's already a 2/4. Ping it back with Beast on your next turn, and then just do more shenanigans. I don't know, I think the ceiling for this card is really high. Howard the Duck is supposedly a 0/0 with the power on turn 6. You can see 1 card in your opponent's hand. I don't know if that's a joke. That seems weird to me. It's obviously a somewhat weak power. Just seems bizarre. Iron Lad is a 0/0 with the unknown power, so we won't pick up on that. Jonah Jameson is a 1/1 ongoing. Your emotes are ruder. Well, first of all, I like a 1-drop ongoing. As I say, I like my ongoing archetype. however you say that word. So it can get buffed by Spectrum and all that sort of thing. However, this obviously seems like more of a sort of jokey card, or maybe one that you'd play in battle mode, right? Next up, Jean Grey is a 3/3 with the on-reveal effect. The next card your opponent plays must be played here if possible. That's very interesting. Almost, obviously it's disruption-y, it's taking control away from your opponent. Very, very interesting. I can't think of any plays. I mean, I guess it plays well into things like maybe even Shang-Chi, honestly. Shang-Chi, if you play it on turn 5, that could be really spicy. Shang-Chi, Soulstone, any of those types of cards which are negative for your opponent to play there. Interesting. Again, one of these ones that I can't quite imagine what to do with it because I'm not a good enough player. Jeff is a 2/3. You can move this once. Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. That sounds really interesting. So Jeff is going to be sneaking in. You can move this once. Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. Nothing can stop you. That's mad. So is Jeff going to be able to get into miniaturized lab, Sanctum Sanctorum? And also the fact that you can move it once. I mean, Jeff sounds like he's going to be good in a move deck. Jeff sounds like he's going to be absolutely staple in basically every deck. It's almost like a worryingly strong power. I'm not too familiar with this character, by the way. Let me know in the comments below if you know much about him. I basically know nothing. Anyway, moving on. King Eitiri. I'm not even familiar with this character. 5/3. Excuse me, I need to have a sip of this. 5/3, on reveal, give the next card you play +4 power. So, this would be good with Gwenpool, right? On the final turn, you'd be able to do Gwenpool and a 4-drop. This would make Gwenpool a 10. So that's pretty cool. 10 minimum, right? Interesting. Give the next card you play +4 power. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, there's an argument that in cases such as Gwenpool, obviously it's amazingly better than Shuri, but this does seem like a similar card to Shuri, and so I'm not sure if it's better than. I mean, it's not better than Shuri, is it? Interesting one. Lady Deathstrike is a 6/4. On reveal, destroy the enemy card with the highest power at this location. I think that's pretty outrageous. It's because it's almost a bit like a Shang-Chi, but it's a Shang-Chi that you can't, is unavoidable basically. 6/4 is kind of weak, but that power is so strong. Yeah, it's just going to be an interesting new control card, isn't it? Legion is a 5/4 with the on reveal, change other locations into this location. This sounds like so much freaking fun. So much fun. I cannot imagine the absolute shenanigans that you're going to have here. Things like, with my ongoing deck, which I keep coming back to, if Onslaught Citadel comes up, this bad boy pumping them all out to Onslaught Citadel. Like, that's just off the top of my head. There's going to be absolutely crazy things possible with this card, and I can't wait to see it. Loki is currently showing as a 0/0 with the on-reveal ability swap hands with your opponent. He obviously won't be a 0/0. I think his power is really interesting. Massive, absolute, just madness. I can envision dumping your hand in a zoo deck, playing this, and then probably winning the game. But yeah, we can't comment too much on him without knowing his power and energy. Right, moving on to Makarri. 0/2. When you draw this, place it at a random location. Pretty cool, a little bit like M'Baku, although M'Baku's much worse. No, I think that's unfair to say, actually. This is just interesting. 2 power is certainly not bad at all. Obviously, it doesn't give you control over it. Interesting card, though. Definitely an interesting card. Mephisto is a 6/0. If you win this game, double your winnings. Yeah, that sounds crazy. I mean, the fact this is a 6/0 in a Mr. Negative deck, this is going to be absolutely outrageous. I look forward to seeing it in action, that's all I can say. Mirage is a 4/5. As you play this, disguise it as Mr. Fantastic. After the final turn, reveal it. Now, I don't understand what the sort of flavour-wise what the relationship between Mirage and Mr. Fantastic is. It may well just be nothing, and it'll just be the fact that it's showing up as Mr. Fantastic and one of the few cards that gives you power. In fact, the only card really that gives you power. Well, excluding like Blue Marvel and whatnot. But what I'm saying is he affects multiple locations, and so the mind games on this card are absolutely off the charts. Like, it's going to throw off all of your opponent's maths. So I think this is, I honestly think at a 4-5, I think it's going to be freaking crazy. The only giveaway, of course, is going to be if on turn 4 your opponent plays a Mr. Fantastic. You're always going to be suspicious of it. Ms. Marvel is a 3/4 with the ongoing effect. If this is your only card here, adjacent locations have +5 power. So herself is a little bit like a Mr. Fantastic. Potentially strong. You're essentially conceding that middle location though, or wherever you play her. Although I guess to be fair, if you play it on one side and you're only getting that one benefit from her, it's still good. Like, she's still a free... I mean, even if she were just the 3/5 for one location, it's kind of crazy. That could actually be absolutely outrageous. I wonder if they'll change her before release. That sounds super strong. And also, just so good in my ongoing deck. Although I guess she completely loses her power if you have to play into her or whatever. I don't know, man. That sounds really intriguing to me. Right, next up is Nebula. I think this is a fair assumption that Nebula is going to be the Season Pass card in 2 months when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out. That's my assumption here. Nebula is a 1/1 with the on-reveal effect. If your opponent played a card here this turn... is this Night Nurse? Yeah, Night Nurse, 2/2. On reveal, add all cards you discarded or destroyed last turn to your hand. That's really interesting. So that could destroy things like Hood, would be a really good one to get off of this. Black Knight would be a really good one to get off of this. Yeah, this could... And 2 cost. Not bad at all, is it? So yeah, this could become a staple in Destroy decks. This seems really strong. What have we got here? Random. I'm not even familiar with this character. He's a 4/0. On reveal, set this card's power equal to the power of a random card in your deck. Similar to Jubilee. Also the fact that Jubilee is also a 4. I'm saying similar to Jubilee in the fact that they're both 4 costs and they work better in decks where you have a high energy cost or a high curve, right? Yeah, very interesting. The fact that they're both 4 drops means that you could probably potentially do something quite spicy with Zabu and those two. There's probably more cards I'm thinking of as well. Yeah, could be interesting. Gonna be gross when that hits Infinite, isn't it? Moving on to Red Guardian, who's a 3/6. On reveal, you must play a card here next turn. That's really cool. So I'm guessing that's like if you can. That's only if you can play a card there. Gonna be really good on the final turn, of course. 3/6 is a lot of power. And honestly, I don't even hate the ability. Like, you must play a card here. It doesn't mean that you have to play all your cards here. Like, you could just throw a Wasp down there or something. So yeah, I really like this. Yeah. In fact, I think it's insanely powerful. Now, next up, this is potentially my favourite unreleased card. Silk, 2/5. And with the ability, after any card is played here, this moves to another location. So, I just think this card is absolutely freaking amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. First of all, it's a 2/5. Is it pretty much the strongest 2-drop in the game? So, you've got that. Second, her artwork is... I've just burped. That's super embarrassing, but we strive on. Her artwork is literally, like, absolutely incredible. I'm going to infinite and upgrade the hell out of this. I guess I'll want a gold background with like maybe red Kirby Crackle or white Kirby Crackle, something like that. That's the dream for this, I think. I just think it's absolutely outrageous. I don't mind the randomness. I guess it'll work better in a move deck where you have plenty of space to benefit from it. Again, Craven is going to be hopefully triggering off of this. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Silver Sable is 2/6. You can only play this at a location where you have 6+ total power. Again, I think that's absolutely outrageous. This is another ridiculously strong card for its cost. Final turn is going to be crazy. I mean, you can play this, Red Guardian, and Titania on the final turn for 17. And that's in 3 locations. Yeah, gross. Next up, Silver Samurai is a 1/2. When this is discarded from your hand, draw a card. So it's a bit like Black Knight, but the discard version. I would say this is alright. I'm not sure how useful it'll be. I mean, if you're playing Colleen Wing to discard the lowest cost card in your hand, you're usually wanting to aim for Swarm, which means that this may not be that useful. I don't know. But then if you don't draw Swarm, but you have drawn this, the card draw itself is really powerful. So yeah, maybe it works. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on this one. Right, this next one is Snowgaurd. I think I need to open this in a new window because it's a 1/2. While in your hand, this transforms each turn into a hawk or a bear. And I can't see what the hawks or bears are. Oh, here we go. Right, so Snowgaurd itself is a 1/2. Oh, they changed this. So I guess the bear is on reveal, trigger the effect of this location. Interesting. And the hawk is on reveal, ignore all location abilities next turn. Oh, can't even get my head around that. Don't even, barely even understand it. Too complicated to even analyse. I'd need to do a separate video on that one. Moving on to Stegron, 4/5. On reveal, move an enemy card from here to another location. Yeah, I think I absolutely love this. Yeah, I think I absolutely love this because it's disruption, it's move. I know we rely quite a lot on Craven for these move triggers. I do sort of wish there was another card which benefited from cards being moved. But in any case, yeah, I really like this. And 4/5, decent stats, like it's not that bad. And it's such big disruption for your opponent, especially if they're, you know, like doing combos or yeah, very strong. Stryfe is a 3/7. If your opponent has 12+ power here, at the end of any turn, destroy this. Interesting. So basically, you pay 3 for a lot of power, but your opponent might be able to destroy it. Obviously outrageous with armor. Can I think of literally any other use for it? I mean, it's just really good. I mean, it forces, especially if you follow up your turns with more power here, you're like sort of forcing them to make you go down, but then you still might win the location. I don't know, that's really interesting to me. That seems really cool. Right, moving on to, I think we've only got a handful left. Surtur is a 5/0. If you move the Human Torch to this location, plus 10 power. That is good, but I mean, it's only a 5/10, so it's basically Red Skull stats, practically, and you have to move that Human Torch, who by turn 6 himself could be an 8 or a 16. So, what, you've got 26 in this location, and you're having to have triggered, like, probably held off the Iron Fist, or like are you doing like Doctor Strange or something? I think this is bad, actually. I think it's just flat out bad. The Living Tribunal is a 6/4. At the end of the game, split your total power evenly among all locations. Absolutely crazy. It's gonna just cause absolute head fucks with everyone, and I just can't even imagine it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Phoenix Force is a 6/3. On reveal, revive one of your destroyed cards with +5 power. If it's Jean Grey, plus 10 power. So at a base level, this is kind of a 6/8. However, if your destroyed card, what could your, I mean, your destroyed card, could it be Nimrod? You can wave Nimrod, Deathlock. So you could bring back an additional 10 Nimrod, which makes us a 6/13. and you've got the power in the other location. I don't know. That's off the top of my head. Obviously, with Jean Grey, it means that you're having to play Jean Grey and then destroy her between turn 3 and turn 6, or turn 5. I don't know. It's such a weird, specific card, isn't it? But I like weird and specific, so I'm interested to see what the community can make of this one. Moving over to Toad, who is a 2/3. On reveal, move the last card you played to this location. Move the last card you played to this location. How is that different from Ghost Spider? Move the last card you played to this location. Is that not the same as Ghost Spider? I mean, I like it. It's incredible. But is it not the same as Ghost Spider? I'm now totally confused. Uncle Ben, this is a famous one. 1/2. When this card is destroyed, add Spider-Man to your hand. I don't necessarily think it's amazing. I mean, I don't know, it's alright. It's good because it's card generation, reliable card generation, and fuel for the likes of Carnage or Death or whatever. And gives you that extra card. I don't know, could be interesting actually. I obviously love the flavour. Viv Vision is a 2/3. When you move a card to a location, move this card there as well. Potentially interesting. As again, though, I say, is Craven the main one benefiting off this? I don't know, so I'm not sure. War Machine is supposed. War Machine's got to be changed. He's apparently a 4/5. Sorry, my camera ran out of battery there. War Machine is a 4/5. Surely is going to be changed because he's literally just Khazar. Ongoing, your 1-cost cards have +1 power. It's literally just a better version of Khazar, so I assume he'll be changed before he's released. Who's this? Witchfire, a 2/3. On reveal, your opponent draws a card. Increase its cost by 1. Yeah, not bad actually. It's a bit like an Iceman. Imagine Iceman into this. Just going to be really annoying for your opponent. Although, technically speaking, you are giving them card draw, which is bad. But you're potentially making that card, like if it's a combo deck, potentially busting that combo. Just making whatever they play feel bad and slow. Yeah, I think that's really good. X23, 3/3. When this is discarded from your hand, put it back. It costs 0. So a little bit like our old Wolverine, or a little bit like our Sabretooth, sort of a mixture of both of them. Yeah, could be pretty good in a discard deck. Not a huge amount of power, but it might be a spicy little thing for the final turn. Particularly good with obviously Morbius. So Morbius, I guess Wolverine this. America Chavez for your final turn. Could be very spicy. And finally, the last card we're looking at today is Yo-Yo, who's a 1/2. When this card moves, move it back with +1 power. Very interesting. Iron Fist gives it a +1. Cloak, you can cloak it. You can Doctor Strange it. Yeah, fairly interesting. Fairly interesting. Yeah, I'm loving the amount of move cards that we're seeing out of all of these cards. Anyway, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at all of the unreleased cards. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.